Hi, my name is Paddy Everingham. I am the current GUSA Vice President and I am applying for the role of GUSA President.
Okay, Paddy, in one sentence, can you summarise what it is you want to achieve in your year as President?
One sentence,
Yeah.
I'll give it my best shot. I want to encourage every university member to be involved in sport of some kind.
Okay, so one of the things that you went heavy on in your Vice President campaign last year was the idea of welfare and trying to get every student to reach World Health Organisation's 150 minutes
Yeah.
of moderate activity. That specifically hasn't appeared in the manifesto this year. Is there a particular reason for that?
It has not appeared this year because it is still undergoing. It's a bit, I will admit that a year goes so fast, and I'd be the first person to tell the new council this, but the year, you have to map out your year from day one. And so I basically started that physical activity campaign in the library, pretty much my first day of the VP remit, and then carried that on. We got really good communication with the library, got some stuff ready for them on the one-land screens, then I got completely sidetracked with the ball, entirely my fault, and now it's picking up again, fortunately, with some pretty huge steps actually. So they've bought into it, we've bought into it, and within the next few months we'll have some stuff up, hopefully encouraging people to take stairs instead of lifts, getting some information on the actual lift shafts to say save some money, save some energy, get some exercise in, that kind of stuff.
So is this something you think next year's Vice President will have to focus on? Is this something you want to carry forward?
This is something that I will carry forward myself, yeah.
Okay. Going along the same lines, you said you want to make sport accessible to as many people as possible. One of the main reasons for students not getting active at the minute is the ever-growing membership cost for Glasgow Uni Sport. What will you do to try and cut this down?
Yeah, absolutely. The membership, as it is at the moment, we've been told that it won't rise again next year, which is the first step. We will always campaign for that student side to say the prices need to be as low as possible to make sure that that membership is accessible to all.
Is there anything specifically you think you can do to try and persuade those in power that perhaps there might need to be a drop? Because definitely there's a number of people this year who have said it's too expensive, I can't afford that, therefore I won't join a sports club.
Absolutely. It is just rallying that student voice, saying to them that there are this many number of people that will not participate in sport because the cost is too high. If we bring this to the powers that be, they will say, right, you've got a lot of evidence here, we will do our very best to bring that down. But at the end of the day, the gym is a business, and I understand that, but I represent the student population rather than the business. And from their business model, they need to get more members in. And from our point of view, we need to get more people exercising, enjoying themselves, participating in some kind of sport. If we can get more people active and engaged and just on that little edge of the sports circle where they tickle in, they enjoy it a little bit, and then they buy into it, join club sport, join the socials, join the training, that kind of thing is what we all aim for, which will bring more people in.
What about the argument that that sports clubs should maybe have their own separate fee, that people say they don't want to have to pay to use the gym because their own accommodation might have gym, or they have their own private membership of a gym? Is the argument that people are being limited and can't join a sports club if that's the only thing they want to do with their membership?
I mean, all first years in halls next year will not have to pay that £25 cap to increase from the off-peak to the full membership. So that's a big step for us, and that should be no barrier at all for first years in halls. They should just have to pop into the Stevie, register their name, and they've got their free membership from day one. And I think the education starts from first years up, and I think if we can encourage people as soon as they get into their university careers to participate in some of our events and everything that GUSA has to offer, what the other student bodies have to offer, then I think we'll have everyone getting on a lot better on campus.
Okay. Thinking specifically about sports clubs, would you agree with the suggestion that GUSA is still an association run for and by the major sports clubs?
No, not at all. I mean, we have 50 sports clubs. We're taking on a few more this year. We represent every single person, whether you have a membership of 14 people or 400, no different to us. We just want to get people active.
But then you get the likes of GUSA Council, which is often heavily dominated by the likes of hockey.
True, but those are just the clubs that push out to their members that the council is here. We need to spread that around to all clubs. This year we've had quite a mixed range of clubs. Like my first club that I joined is Canoe. It's by no means the biggest on campus, but it's quite a family environment, and that's what all clubs are about, really.
So what do you think you could do then to try and spread that message that GUSA, because it does still have that reputation in some areas, that it is specifically for the big clubs?
I mean, we've worked on that over the last few years to try and say we represent all, and I think it is just pushing it to those extremities through our social media, through each of our council members being more active, attending training sessions, attending games, and just pushing our names and our faces out there to say, we are your council, we represent you. If you have any issues and stuff you want to change, please bring it to us, and then we can bring it to the
powers. Does that try to be more personal then?
That's it. And the big thing in my manifesto this year is to be more personal with clubs, and to make it to training sessions myself, encourage the council to, and really have a good relationship with not only CTS of clubs, but to every single member, so they feel involved in the sport.
Okay. You also brought up that you had a couple of new clubs joining. GUSA, it's been quite a difficult process for those new clubs looking to affiliate. So obviously the yoga club are the most recent trying to do it. What can you look to do to try and make this process easier so that those who do want to create a new club aren't being almost scared off by the lengthy process? I
mean, the process has been streamlined over the last few years. The issue that we've had until now is our funding hasn't increased. So if we were to take on more clubs, other clubs would suffer as a result, and we couldn't do that to our existing members. Whereas this year we've been given an additional, well, still to be confirmed, but an additional grant to take on those clubs so that the other clubs wouldn't suffer. So the application process isn't that difficult. It's just once the applications were in, we couldn't do anything with them because we didn't have enough money to share amongst all our clubs.
Okay. If you could have done one thing differently from this year's president, Izzy Heath, what would it have been?
That's a tough question. I mean, I spend most of my days with Izzy at the moment, and she's done class. Like, she cares so much about sport, and if I can empower half of that, I'd be happy. One thing differently. I would say be more on the ground for clubs. And I'm saying this now before I've sat in office for a few months, and the daily goings on that you learn on the job will come at me probably all guns blazing. But I'd really like to say that I'll be able to visit more clubs and develop that personal relationship.
Okay. What will you consider to be, obviously you said 1 year is a fairly short period, what will you consider to be a success for you to go? What's the minimum standard of what you want to achieve?
I mean, I have some pretty lofty goals, but why not? I'd like to double our participation rates. We have less than half of our student members that are involved in GUSA, and even if they don't take out a membership, we'd like to engage every single person on the campus, which is the end goal.
Okay. Is that something you think you can achieve in such a short time?
With the 12 council members working together, reaching out through club sport, putting on our rec leagues, the events available for everyone on campus, working with the other student bodies, I think it's a good starting point. Yeah, okay. Excited.
Yeah, I think that's basically us covered.
Well, thank you very much for your time. But yeah,
thanks, Paddy.